What's up, nerds? This is Garchu Collects or Dan, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go through the top 10 most expensive cards in my collection. The reason I wanted to make this video is because I'll probably be getting rid of a couple of these cards in the next month or so, because I'm going to Chicago Collecticon and I will use these as trade bait to trade for cards I want more. I also think it'd be good content and pretty interesting video to go over the top 10 most expensive cards in my collection, and then maybe a year from now make another video of the same thing and see how the list changes and stacks up over the years. I think it'll be interesting to see how my collection develops. So let's get right into it with number 10, Blaine's Charizard Unlimited from Gym Challenge. Now, I really do like this card. However, it is unlimited, and I have decided that I want to collect first edition. I do want to eventually get Gym Challenge Gym Heroes first edition, so eventually this card will need to go to do that. This card is currently worth $444. That was last sold on eBay. I paid $350 probably about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years now at this point, so not a bad come up on that. Will for sure get less than the $444 in trade credit, but should at least get my money back, if not a little bit more than what I paid for it. It's a really cool card. I'm going to be kind of sad to see it go, but this isn't the ultimate copy I want for my collection, so it kind of makes sense just to move on from it. All right, number 9, we have Dark Blastoise, first edition from Team Rocket. This was a pickup from New Jersey Collecticon in July, and as you can see, it has an absolutely sick swirl on it. So this copy is not going anywhere. I'm really happy with this example of the Dark Blastoise. I think that swirl is awesome. Really cool art, I think. I just love this hollow pattern on these Wizards of the Coast cards. I think this is the Cosmos foil, I believe. I'm not sure about that. But anyway, yeah, this card's not going anywhere. Really happy to have this in my collection. It is my number 9th most expensive card. That is worth $450 last sold. I don't know exactly what I paid for it because it was like part trade, part cash, but I think I got a better deal than that. You'll have to check out my last video, my video from Collecticon. I think this was like $350 maybe. Anyway, feeling good about this card. Really like it, and this will be in my collection for the long term for sure. All right, number 8, another New Jersey Collecticon pickup is the Blastoise Hollow from Expedition with a nice graded card that the color matches, which is pretty cool. So this card is worth, let's see here, $483, and I paid $480, so right about what I paid. I think that this card is probably sticking around. I guess it's hard for me to say because I do have the Charizard, which is coming up later in this video, Hollow from Expedition, but at the same time, I wouldn't say I'm in love with this card. Like, I'm debating just keeping the Charizard and getting rid of this card and not going after the Venusaur, just because this is $500 in a card. Obviously, it's a lot of money, and while I do think this is a sick art, I don't know, not sure. Like, I kind of want one with the swirl also to go with my Charizard with the swirl that's coming up. So this, I don't really want to get rid of it, but if I do see a really cool card I want and maybe I'm out of cash, or maybe I need that $500 to close a trade or a deal with someone at Chicago Collecticon, then I'm willing to let this go. But I'm really happy to own this card. I really think it's a cool card, and I guess we'll kind of see if it's in next year's video. Anyway, moving on, number 7, another Blastoise card, Blastoise EX. This card is last sold for $500 on eBay. And it's hard to see on camera, but this copy has oh, there you go, actually, I thought it was that corner. This copy's a really nice swirl right there. So I think this is a great example of the Blastoise EX. Starting looks pretty good. On the back, there's a little bit of whitening on the side, bottom, and bottom right, and then kind of the bottomish side as well. But besides that, I think this is a pretty clean card. We really like that it has a swirl. As you know, I'm a big swirl collector. So this card possibly might get traded again. You'll see coming up, I also have the Charizard EX. I'm spoiling the whole video, but it's kind of relevant because I have the Charizard EX coming up later in this video, and then I have the Venusaur EX that is not featured in this video. But either way, I'm thinking about getting rid of that trio. It is a couple thousand, like $2,500, I think, roughly in that trio. If I see a card I really want like that, would be something willing to sacrifice to get it. I don't really want to get rid of these cards because they're just so awesome, especially having all three of them. They look great together. But it is something I'm considering, so we'll see if this one sticks around for the next top 10 video I make. Moving on to number 6, we have the Rayquaza VMAX from Evolving Skies, the only modern card on this list, which is kind of interesting. I guess modern cards are typically less expensive. I mean, I don't have a Moonbreon, so that isn't going to be on this list. Otherwise, that would definitely be near the top. But for the most part, modern cards are not really featured in my most expensive list, just because I mainly collect vintage, and the only modern I get for the most part is modern I open and grade myself. I did grade this myself, but I bought the card raw at my local card shop. I traded in, at the time, was like $240 worth of bulk plus $60. I think the card was right around $300. So literally $60 all in, because what I spent on packs is just already spunked away money. Like that's basically free at this point. So $60 roughly was my cash I put in, plus a $15 grading fee. And now this card is worth $530 last sold on eBay, which is a pretty cool come up there. It's come down quite a bit over the last few months, but this is definitely a PC card. I just think this card looks so good. I need to get a graded card for it, because this is sticking around for the long term. I really like this art, really pops in person, and this is just a card that everyone is going to want at the end of the day. So I think this is a nice long-term hold as well. All right, number 5. We have the Charizard Star, $650 for this guy last sold. Now, the thing about this is obviously it's a PSA 1, so it's beat the hell, but this was like my childhood Charizard Star, I guess, in a sense. I never pulled this myself, but one of my friends from elementary school just gave this to me because he had 2. Maybe I traded them something for it, I don't really remember, but anyway. This was just like stuck in like a bin of like random Pokemon toys that I went through when I first got back into Pokemon. There's random cards in there and some random toys, and this was at the bottom of it. So definitely gonna grade a 1, but as you can see on camera, like it just looks so good. And same with person, like you hold it out like 4 or 5 feet in front of your face, like you can hardly tell it's even damaged, which is insane. Like it just looks so good in the slab. Like it makes me even want to collect lower condition cards, because you can't really even like tell much of this damage when you're holding it out a couple feet in front of your face, you know. But I am definitely a 9 collector through and through for vintage, and 10 collector for modern, just mainly because of it holds its value the best. But anyway, yeah, really glad to own this card, and this is the number 5 most expensive card. All right, number 4, we have another Charizard, surprise, from Crystal Guardians, Reverse Holo. I paid $600 for this card. This was the first big graded card I purchased on eBay. This was, I believe, 2 years ago now, 2.5 years ago now, a long time ago. And I really love this card. I think this is one of the better Charizard arts there is, and I love the Reverse Holo stamp, so really happy to pick this up. Delta Species cards are awesome as well. However, this card is kind of off-center. I've mentioned it before when I've shown off this card. I would like to eventually get a more centered copy. So this card's kind of on the chopping block as well to potentially get traded away at Collecticon, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this card currently last sold for $660 on eBay. It's very close in value to the Charizard Star and a PSA 1, which is crazy. Just goes to show how expensive the gold stars are. But anyway, happy to have this card. I think it's very cool, and hopefully I am able to get a copy I'm more happy with down the line. All right, and the number 3 card in most expensive card in my collection, sorry, I can't speak apparently, is actually my favorite card in my collection, and it's because it's my most nostalgic card. It's Charizard Expedition. Charizard from Expedition Holo, PSA 9, the Bang and Swirl on it. So I actually had, as I've mentioned before, I had one of these growing up. I might have pulled it, I don't even remember, but I had one. It was my favorite card I owned, and then I had a Reverse Holo one as well. So I had 2 Charizards, and I was very proud of having 2 Charizards. So I now have 2 Charizards today, and I'm very proud of that. I have the Charizard, this Holo, and then I have the Reverse Holo I've shown off in another video, the Collecticon pickups from New Jersey. But anyway, yeah, this card was last sold on eBay for $950. Now I paid $1,200, like the fool I am, because this swirl is so fucking nice. I was like, fuck it, I'm never gonna find another copy that has a swirl this good on it, in my opinion. I had been looking for a few months before that at potential copies of this card because I knew I really wanted one. I'd never seen one with any swirl, let alone a swirl like center placed in the kind of the Cosmos background, which is awesome. So this was a great pickup. This is the biggest personal collection of my own. I will sell every other card I own before I sell this card if I have to for whatever reason. I truly love this card, and you, hopefully we'll be seeing this stick around in many of my collection videos to come. So really happy with that. All right, number 2, we have Charizard EX from Fire Red Leaf Green. I mentioned this earlier, spoiler alert from before, but yeah, I picked this up probably about a year or so ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Actually, no, probably about a year, because I traded a Van Gogh Pikachu for it, plus some other alt arts I had. Nothing crazy, but like mid-range alt arts, some PSA 9 fail graded play alt arts, and then like $550 for this card, which is crazy because this card last sold on eBay for $1,691. So this was a huge come up for me. I'm probably up like $600 or $700 on this, maybe even more if you factor in that I got the Van Gogh Pikachu for essentially free by ordering something on Pokemon Center to get it. So yeah, that's awesome. It just really goes to show how you can make moves in this hobby and kind of have big come ups like this. Anyway, this card is super cool, and I really do want one in my collection. However, like I mentioned, the big 3 of Fire Red Leaf Green EXs are kind of on the chopping block for potential trade, mainly just because while I do love them, I'm not too happy with this copy of the Charizard. Like I said, I got a really good deal on it, and it is a PSA 9 to PSA 9 to a lot of people, right? But to me, like, I really would have liked some sort of swirl on it. I don't see any swirl. And then the back, it's hard to see on camera, but the whitening there is fine. But I don't really like the middle of the card whitening. Like, I prefer, it's not really nerdy and really in the weeds, but if you're watching this far, and you are too, but like if I had to choose my whitening, I want it to be like the corners, just a couple dots here and there. You know, I don't really like the center damage. So that's just something that doesn't really do it for me. But I mean, even just here, like, I guess that's kind of a swirl there. I mean, it's just such a beautiful card. Like, maybe I won't get rid of this. It also, just because I have so much profit in this card, like, it kind of makes sense to maybe realize that, especially it seems like there's been an uptick in this card recently. Might be a good idea. But anyway, we'll kind of see how Collecticon goes, see what the budget looks like, and then see if there's any cards I come across that I really feel like I would want. All right, and a quick honorable mention before we get to number 1 here. Raichu Reverse Holo EX Hollow Phantoms PSA 10. Reason this is an honorable mention is because it's a Pop 5. It's the last time I checked, about a month ago. I'm actively looking to sell this card. So if you want this card, message me either on Instagram or on YouTube. I will definitely respond. Reason I'm trying to sell this card is because I don't collect vintage PSA 10s. I bought this card maybe 3 years ago now. It's been a while, like a long time. This is like one of the first graded cards I ever bought for $200. I thought it was a good investment at the time, and I was correct. I believe, because it was a Pop 3 at the time. $200 for a Pop 3 popular Pokemon like Raichu. Seemed like a good deal. Still think it was a good deal. And the reason it's honorable mention is because there's no market price for it. I don't think any one of these has sold yet. I think there's one listed on eBay for like $1,500, but besides that, that's about it. Anyway, yeah. This card will definitely be going with me to Collecticon, see what people are willing to pay, because really at the end of the day, like, this is going to sell for whatever someone's willing to pay. Like, I don't have a price in mind necessarily. Like, I kind of want to trade it for another card because there's no price on it. Like, that's why it's an honorable mention. Like, there's no way for me to value this, honestly. Like, if one rich guy wants to spend $1,000 on this card, I mean, I'm just really one of his only options, right? There's only 4 other people who could be his option. So I think that's pretty cool. And while I will be sad to see this card go, I think it makes sense. And I'm glad to have owned this card, glad to make videos documenting me owning this card. I will definitely be posting a picture of this card on my Instagram. I think that's a good idea. I'm trying to get more pictures going on that. So I will maybe link that in the description of this video. If you haven't seen my Instagram, check it out. It's just one picture of me on my birthday, opening some cards, but hopefully we have more coming soon. All right. Number 1, as you guys might have known if you watched my New Jersey Collecticon pickup video, Lugia Neo Genesis First Edition, PSA 9. Nicest card I have ever owned to date. I'm hoping one day to own maybe some nicer cards, but yeah, after kind of reflecting owning this card for a couple months now, I am really happy I own it. I do wish it had a swirl, and because it doesn't have a swirl, I'm going to predict that this card won't be my permanent collection piece. I do want to own a first edition Lugia in PSA 9 again at some point, but I think it makes sense for me to consider trading this away. Reason being is because it doesn't have a swirl, like I already said, but also it's just like so much money. It's like I paid $2,050. Last sold on eBay was $2,250. It's just a ton of money tied up in this card, and I'm okay with that for the time being. But if I want to keep spending money on Pokemon, like I need to have a balance. Like I can't just have all my money in Pokemon cards, especially ones like this where it's just more of like a collection piece. It's not something I'm anticipating on appreciating value greatly, even though I am anticipating this appreciating value, just not really at like a investment grade rate, you know what I mean? Like this will hold value pretty well. I think this will slowly go up over time, but I just think that there's other cards I want more than this, and this value, like this $2,250, whatever trade I can get, $2,100, maybe make a few bucks on buying the card and holding it for a few months. That'd be cool. I think that can get my collection into a place where I'd kind of rather have it be. Now, like I said, if this had a swirl or like was what I thought would be a copy I'm very happy with, then I would not be selling it. But I do think this is a clean copy. Like I think I'm just being really particular about wanting some sort of swirl. Really good copy. There is a little bit of something going on there, but I wouldn't call that a swirl anyway. Just show it off here. Yeah, corners look minty. Like this is crazy. The only damage, and like I said, it's not my favorite type of damage, is like I guess when the card was cut, dull blade a little bit, 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot, 4, 5. I guess that maybe it's 5. It's hard to see. Maybe it's just 2. Yeah, it's just the 2, 3. Anyway, that's the only damage on the card. Like the corners are pristine, which I know some people would really like, but I just don't really like the damage at the top, to be honest. It's a new cert. It's a really clean Lugia. Like I think I got a good deal on it. I don't think I should have any problem getting my money back out of it if I want to do that. It is just a spectacular card. It's absolutely gorgeous. Really happy I own it. But yeah, we'll see if this is in the next video or a year from now or so. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Hopefully to have some more videos coming out soon. Take care.